Gents, we've been doing a lot of talking about our community, and we've been talking about the relationship between us and our women. And there was a particular clip with Shahrazad Ali that stood out to me, but it was a particular part that stood out for me that I want you to hear.
We are the first face they see. We are the first person they talk to. We the first person to feed them. We do all of that and raise them up. And so if there's a silly man out here, he didn't grow up and be silly. He was silly as a little boy because his mother mismanaged him and didn't reparent him using the truth.
So that Shahrazad Ali clip got me thinking, if the actions of single moms or moms period is that important, then what does it look like for this generation that we're seeing today? And that's when it reminded me of another clip that we looked at just the other night.
Why you text her? Why the fuck you text her? Why did you text her? Answer my question and you could go. Why did you text her? 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 This is what happens when you cheat on your girl.
When I watched this clip originally, I remember thinking that I didn't see a grown man here. It actually felt like I was looking at a little boy who never learned how to grow up and to be a man. And then we have to start asking ourselves, why?
We teach our sons sometimes how to be abused by women because in the presence of being their moms, we silence their voices. We don't give them the ability to speak up for themselves because we're trying so hard to be strong that we can't teach them how to be emotionally intelligent. And so they learn to be quiet. And so we get mad when we see women abusing our sons, but we taught them that. We taught them how to be silent when women get loud. We taught them how to shrink when women start crying. We taught them how not to use their voice, but to use their fist because, shut up, boy, boys are strong. And because of that, by not teaching them emotional intelligence, we put them in a position where they become punching bags for women who are just like us.
One thing I've been having a hard time explaining to my son is women have the last say. So when you're up against a woman and it's you versus her, unfortunately, a lot of the times people are going to side with that woman. And that's a really tough conversation to navigate with my son because I feel like, how do you tell a boy, even if a girl hits you, yeah, you really can't hit her back. You have to have restraint. You have to, talk. How are you telling a person how to react when
especially
it's
when
a
the other person
reaction?
can be dead wrong.
When it can literally be dead wrong.
My son had an incident at school where a young lady put her hands on him in a way that caused him a lot of harm. He was abused on a bus, not in a sexual way, but I wanted to go put my hands on somebody.
Yes.
And the response from the police, because I was like, press charges, lock everybody up.
Yeah.
That was because if it was a girl, and it was
absolutely.
a boy who did what the girl did to him,
absolutely.
And the police officer said, you're right.
Absolutely.
And I think in a society where we hold girls as these precious things, and we have to hold our boys just as precious.
Yes.
And that is what I told my son. I said, just because you do not have a vagina does not mean that you are any less important to this world. That does not mean that we don't protect you just as much as I protect my daughter.
Yeah.
So I hear that, and it sounds good in theory. It sounds good that we have to do those things. We have to protect our sons. But what does protecting your sons look like when women are teaching other women to behave this way towards men? And that when men talk about how these weak men are brought up by single moms, by independent women, women don't even believe that they're the cause or the culprits of it.
You ladies actually don't raise boys that become men. A lot of single moms, they raise boys that become
degenerates,
weak men.
No.
Weak men.
Weak men?
A lot of single moms raise boys.
Wait,
that
why is there? These are
No.
You being rage baited.
That's coming from maybe something that you grow up seeing. That's not my culture. I don't grow up seeing that type of stuff.
Okay.
Men who raised by a single mother, as a boy that's becoming a man, you should appreciate the woman in your life. Because if you don't appreciate your mom, how could you appreciate other women if she's doing all that stuff to take care of you?
You see what I mean, gents? This woman took the conversation and took it as he's saying that both things can't be true. She took it as you're attacking these moms who are doing the basics, putting food on the table, going to work and doing the things. But in this conversation, when he's talking about a fundamental part of how boys become men, it's not enough for these single independent women just to be putting food on the table. It's not just enough for them to be acting and loving them what they call fiercely, because sometimes that love weakens those boys. Actually, we see it. We know statistically that's true. But again, when you try to bring the narrative of we need to protect our boys as strongly as we do the girls, you get this type of behavior, right? The other friend, what did she say? Oh, he's trying to bait us. No. He made a statement of fact. I'm actually more disappointed that he didn't stick to his guns, because we can see this empirical evidence is true. We know statistically that it's true. I want you to hear from this mom right now, learning the consequences of coddling her son with what she thought was love, but actually created a weak young man.
Listen, whatever you do, don't be like me. I have babied my son so much. Now that he's a teenager, he doesn't have the life skills that he needs to go out into the world. He started his first job. He's volunteering at summer camp, and now I'm embarrassed. I am, because everyone knows I've been doing everything for him since he came out of my hoo-ha. So I got called out, and rightfully so. Okay, so his boss, she's technically his boss while he's there. So she looks at me and she goes, "We learned how to turn on the vacuum today." Oh, valid, guilty. I'm telling you guys what I should have done. Okay, be more patient and actually teach them, because now it's biting me in the ass and I'm embarrassed. She said I asked him to replenish the ice packs because someone got stung by a bee and they used a couple. What did he do? He brought 2 more out. It's not funny. He popped open 2 more ice packs and brought them out because he thought replenished meant bring more. I can't make this up. I asked him the other day, can you take out the chicken and defrost it with some water? He took out the chicken, he put it in the sink, and then he put a cup of water in the sink.
But that's the problem, ma'am. Women will sit there and argue with us that women are creating weak-ass men. And then they will get on the internet, those same women that you just saw, and said there's no good dudes out here, that these men are weak, that there are no good men out here. Black men are trash, right? Like, black men are the worst. You all are teaching your daughters this. So when y'all say that we need to have more patience and grace and all that, the answer was always there. The answer was always clear, except that modern women today decided that they could do it by themselves. They didn't need us. They didn't need men. And that's wrong.
I love you, sisters. Thank God for you. Thank you for how you've covered us. Thank you for how you've hung in there with us. Thank you for how you've nursed us. Thank you for how you've prayed for us. But I need to set the record straight. Don't be mad at me. Don't cancel the pastor. Don't cancel nobody else. Hear what I gotta say. You ain't a man. You can't even make one. You can give birth to them, but you can't make them. The only thing that can make a man is another man. And so hear me now. This is why, and I know we got some single mothers in here who have raised good adults, but you cannot make a man. A man is something that a man has to see. And so this is why men, especially in the streets, Taurus, gravitate towards other men who are leaders in the streets or wherever, because in the heart of every boy, he is crying out for a man to recognize him.
Good men of them is men that seek validation on their manhood from them.
Where else would you get validation from another man?
On your manhood?
Yeah.
You won't get that from a female.
So you're gonna get it from another man?
Yes.
And that sound fine to you? That sound good?
That's normal.
Okay, cool. It's a lot of things that are normalized.
That's normal.
Right. This young man is absolutely correct. And the part that I cut out is that she tries to argue that just because it's normal for men to seek validation from other men, that is not right. You see, you got a bunch of these women who are on there, but they don't understand the why. They just talking out of emotion because she's offended, or they get offended when you say some real shit. Men seek validation from other men. Men try to climb let's talk about this high value man that these women are looking for. This man earns and learns and grows and climbs the corporate ladder. Let's call it a corporate high value man. And along the way, him getting validation from other men pushes him to want to do and acquire more. Now, if he winds up having a family, yes, that is going to inspire him to be more. But that level of competition that men have naturally between each other helps push us to do more. So if you are around positive men, I'll give you an example. I was at the gym today. I'm always at the gym. Everybody knows that. 3 days a week, I'm at the gym. And when I go ahead and I do certain exercises and I'm lifting certain weights or I'm racking the weight where I put the pin all the way to the bottom, I see the other men watching. I don't have to even see them. I see them. And I see them try a little bit heavier on theirs. And I see them puff up their chest when they come past me. This is a natural camaraderie between men that helps men push to be better men, which is why a man can only make a man. Yet you got these birds that come on here thinking they talking some shit, saying that's not normal. Well, we've been doing it your way for 70 goddamn years, and we have a bunch of weak ass men that y'all complain about, but also created. Make that shit make sense.
70%. That's how many black fathers are living with their kids right now. Bathe them, dress them, diaper them every single day. It's higher than white fathers. It's higher than Hispanic fathers. Homework help every day? Black fathers, 41%. White fathers, 28%. That's not a meme. It's not just me running my mouth. That's the CDC record. It was published in 2013, 13 years ago. And the black dads who don't live in the home, still the most involved non-resident fathers in the entire study.
There was a study where they asked several men who had fed their children, given their children a bath, or put their children to bed. And more black men had done that with their children than any other race. But we don't know that. Yeah. We don't talk about that.
Yeah.
I'm willing to tell you that I bet you there are a lot of moms that aren't praising them for doing those things. They're just saying it's an expectation. And absolutely it is. But you want to be patted on the back for all the plates that you're juggling and holding.
Yeah.
So we need to also be reinforcing the positive things that fathers are doing, because they do a lot of things very well.
This is what I need you to understand, especially when it comes to the reputation that black men hold in our communities and in this country. The CDC can't update those numbers anymore. It stopped collecting comparable data. I wonder why. We won the measurement, so they quit measuring. And the lie kept its airtime. Charlie Kirk built a whole platform on a lack of fathers as a problem in the black community and our country. They filled a stadium to honor him. As we creep into election season, I want you to name one. Name one politician who ever stood up and corrected that record.
As a father myself who has had to battle my exes at different times. If you go over to our podcast, Partners in Crime, you'll hear P and I talking about these things all the time. These are very deep and touchy subjects for us because we love our kids. We love our kids a lot. And sometimes people can mistake actions that a man have to take as being absent or deadbeat or not caring, when the truth is further from that. Because when we discount what fathers actually do, we're setting up our sons for failure.
We went to a home basically, and they said they didn't want their grass cut, and rather than continue on the vein and go to the next home, we decided to push into the home essentially, and it ended in a double homicide. It's that simple.
What?
For our complicity in that crime, I was sentenced to 170 years, 170.
You got a sentence of 170 years.
Yes, sir.
Damn. However you cut that, you are not going to get out of here.
I'm eligible for parole when I turn 100 years old.
Have you ever thought about all the things that you have missed that other 15-year-olds go through as part of their normal lives?
Absolutely. I've never been to the prom. I've never driven a car. I've never had a driver's license. I've never filed tax returns.
Never got no pussy.
I've never been on an airplane. I've never traveled abroad.
Damn.
Yeah, should I continue? My life has been lived in this prison, and it seems as though I've been in this prison so long that I've never been free.
He's lived in prison so long that he doesn't know what it's like to be free. I'm not saying what this young man did isn't heinous. It doesn't require punishment and accountability. But notice these punishments for young black men are death sentences, 170 years. Here it is, you have these young men who are being failed by the moms in their life. And I'm not saying that you don't have moms trying to be there for their kid and pray for them, but without that father, without that positive male influence, without that man pushing that young man to be a better version of himself, to correct him, to hear a man's voice stop him from doing stupid shit, we get too many of our young men exactly like this young man right here, exactly in this situation.
I was talking to this guy a while ago, right? This couple years ago. He was like, I think men make better parents than women because women raise their children strictly off of emotion, but that father, while he's going to give that child love, he's going to incorporate more structure into the child's life, which makes for a better, more healthy whole kid, because a lot of times women will love their children and provide them with so much love, but they didn't necessarily have that structure that they needed. And I actually agree. I do feel like a stable man probably can raise a healthier kid.
Yeah, you know why though?
Yeah.
Because women have been doing it by themselves so long that they think that they have like nailed it.
Yeah.
They think can't nobody do it better than them. So they don't even try.
Yeah.
They just think that because they in the house with them, they paying the bills.
Right.
They getting this little $50 check every week or whatever for child support. So now they putting him down because he's not paying child support.
Right.
And then they hold it over his head because he's not paying child support. So therefore he can't see his child. But that's some other trifling shit.
Yeah.
Listen, the statistics are clear. Children do just as well with a single father as a two-parent household. Yes, kids need love and they need affection, but not so much that it's crippling. And mothers will enable that behavior instead of nipping it in the bud. It makes weak young boys who grow up to be weak-ass men. The men that y'all hate, y'all create them by not structuring how boys are supposed to play. We've labeled everything that young men do now as toxic masculinity, which doesn't exist, and wonder why these kids have a problem. I want to address something that this woman said too. Too many women are on autopilot. Just like those young ladies said earlier, you got to thank your mom, you got to appreciate your mom. Absolutely you do. But now it's getting to the point like what me and P talk about. Everything is reversed. Women want a pat on the back for doing the shit that they're supposed to do. Yet they don't want to take no accountability for how they're using the kids for money, how they're using the kids as pawns to hurt the dad. They don't want no accountability for that shit.
The son says, I hold nothing against you, Dad. Check this out.
I miss everything, bro. I want to let you know, like, I got no resentment, no pain. I got nothing against you. All right. I know life happens how it happens. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And I understand as a man now, like when I was a child, yeah, it hurt. It ain't no pain that I would wish on nobody, but you know, it molded me into the man that I had to be today. Ain't got nothing to be. Yes, I do. I got everything, bro. I don't even know, dude. I miss everything, bro. Understand as a man now, like when I was a child, yeah, it hurt. It ain't no pain that I would wish on nobody, but you know, it molded me into the man that I had to be today. Ain't got nothing to be. Yes, I do. I got everything, bro. I don't even know, dude. I missed everything, bro. I missed everything. I missed it all, bro. Hey, man. We ain't worried about that right now, man.
God bless.
It's the only way to let this stuff go.
First, let me salute both of these kings. Let me salute this young brother, man. Let me salute this young brother for not holding anything against dad and learning to forgive dad and understand that dad was what he was. But I also salute this father. The father acknowledged, he said, I missed everything. Yeah. I feel the sorrow in dad's heart.
I'm just saying I understood as a man that sometimes you make man decisions and you know what I'm saying? There's just man decisions, and sometimes us as kids, we suffer through those decisions because we don't understand through a child's mind. We just feel the hurt and the pain. So I decided that I was going to make that thing right one day. I was going to like, look, I don't need nothing from you. I don't need no child support. I just want to know who the man is. And I found out he had already passed away. And I didn't get notified of it. And so imagine your dad's been dead for a year and you just find out about it. I was hurt. I was truly hurt because I didn't have a chance to rectify that with my father. I didn't get a chance to tell him what this young man got to tell his dad. I didn't get a chance. I didn't get this chance. And the pain on that father, man, I feel that shit. Because when you feel like, I didn't miss everything, but man, I missed too much. I missed more than I wanted to, more than I should have, especially when I tried.